It's Kringle time. Sit back and relax as we dive into a world of laughter and learning with the Kringle brothers, reminding us that we are better together.
Hey, welcome to Kringle time, everybody.
How is everyone?
How are you doing, Michael?
I'm doing great.
Did you have a good week? Week's going well.
We were just talking a little bit before we came on. It's been a little trying week, but you know what? It's all good. And I know talking to you earlier, how's your back? Oh, better yet, how's your knee? Is this the first time you do yard work with the new knee?
I've been doing yard work all week. I've been pulling dandelions and mowing and hedges and weed beds. They're looking wonderful. That was so funny. I went to church Sunday. I've been doing them every day, right? And I edged, it got all bad. So I edged. And a lady at church, she said, I drove by your house, Santa, and I saw that you edged and all your lines are nice and straight.
And what was your response to that?
I was, well, you know what that means? I hadn't been drinking.
That's one thing. That's one thing I can't do is edge. I can't draw a straight line if somebody actually did it for me.
Oh, you gotta be kidding.
Oh no, I get big old gouges and going through there.
Well, Bill is on and AJ and Kevin. Oh, good to see you guys. Thanks for coming.
AJ
and Lewis
and Gary and Lewis. Oh my God. You guys are amazing.
Doug too.
Oh yeah, we can't forget Doug. And we got Alan on there too. Oh my goodness. So it's amazing. Thank you all for everybody for joining us today. We have a very special show today because you know what Sunday is. So here's a clue, guys. It's Mother's Day. So if you haven't gotten out to get mom anything, guess what? You have 2 days before you can do that.
2 days.
2 days.
And because it's Mother's Day, we wanted to do something special to honor moms, but at the same time, Mrs. Claus, the matron of the North Pole, and we thought it would be fun to practice, our backstories that we're working on. So tonight we've got a special edition for moms. We're going to play a game working on our backstory. We'll call that game Slay My Heart. And our game tonight is to find out which contestant is the real Mrs. Claus.
So it's kind of like Who Am I? And we have 3 people on, and one of them could be the real Mrs. Claus.
So let's get started with our game tonight and welcome our first contestant, Mrs. Claus, number 1. Hello, Mrs. Claus.
Hey, how are you?
And now Mrs. Claus, number 2.
Dun, dun,
Hello,
dun.
Mrs. Claus. And last but not least, Mrs. Claus, number 3.
Hi.
Hello. Hello.
Oh, so good to see you, ladies. I'm glad you're all here, Now you've got your questions for your gaming tonight. And so we're just going to jump right in to our...
No, we're not, because you wrote a very lovely intro here, and you deserve to actually get it. All right. See, I get to do all the fun stuff here. Ever wonder what really goes on at the North Pole? Join us for a cozy chat with the one and only Mrs. Claus. We pull back the velvet curtain of the workshop. Why would we use velvet? That's a lot of dust. And hear straight from the jolly monarch herself, from cookie catastrophes and elf management tips to heartwarming holiday stories and behind-the-scenes sleigh secrets. Like, how do you get the ring out of Santa's collars? Mrs. Claus spills the sugar-coated truth. Expect laughter, a little sass, and a sleigh full of surprises. Ho, ho, hop on for a magical ride through holiday history, North Pole gossip, and timeless tales of kindness and cheer. Now, don't you think that should have been read?
All right. I guess, yeah. I had fun writing it, but yeah. Okay.
All right.
I had it in the description, and I just figured everyone already read it.
Well, no, but it's too much fun not to. All right, let's go ahead. Now, I'm going to be my best announcer voice here. Ladies and gentlemen, straight from the North Pole television station, it's our game show. Okay, voiceover person, say it again.
Slay My Heart from the North Pole Magic.
With our host, Santa Michael. This will be a thought-provoking question figure out exactly
you're breaking up a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and jump in. So our first question, Mrs. Claus number 1.
Oh, you're not going to read the question?
You're supposed to read the question.
Oh, I hope you don't keep slaying like that. That's not fair.
Oh, am I stuttering that bad, or am I what?
Well, I am, but except for I'm on my computer's like, what do they call that? Scopy go geek thing. All right, never mind. All right, here we go. Mrs. Claus number 1. What's a typical day like for you at the North Pole?
Well, after waking up, we usually start with coffee, which Mr. Claus, Santa himself, gets for me. It's really just a little thing that we've done. And then we meet with the elves to try and figure out what's going to happen for the day, whether we're going to have projections, new safety inspections. We always take a long walk sometime in the daytime, too. And then we spend our afternoon doing inspections. We sometimes overlap which areas we're going to go to in with the elves. And we always have a wrap-up meeting with them. And, of course, cookies and hot chocolate are with everything.
Are you?
I'm
What's
back.
going on, Michael?
Everything froze.
Oh, okay. Well, now we know. All right. Santa Claus Mrs. 2, same question. Would you like me to repeat the question?
Yes, please.
What's a typical day like for you at the North Pole?
Well, it's very similar to Mrs. Claus number 1, and the fact that Santa does wake up before Mrs. Claus every day, and he brings me my coffee as well. And we sit and we drink our coffee and we enjoy looking out the window and we plan on what we're going to do for that day. One thing, though, that I do that Santa does not necessarily do is I'm in charge of the reindeer. So Santa will bring me my keys that I have from the North Pole, and I take my keys and I go down to the reindeer barn and I make sure that the reindeer are fed every morning before I get my day going with our inspections as well.
Ooh, nice. Nice. And Mrs. Claus number 3.
Well, we have a little different routine. We get up and make breakfast together, but I am going to have to talk to him. I do want my coffee in bed. That's a lovely idea, ladies. But anyway, after we tidy up a little bit, we check on the reindeer, and then I have to head to the school. You know, I teach the alphabet at school for the elves. And then I have to make lunch. And then we visit with the elves who might be ill, or we had a new baby the other day and I got to hold him. He was precious, absolutely precious. And then by that time, it's time to make the cookies. And I have to make the day's batch of cookies. And then, let's see, after the cookies, more cleaning up. And then dinner, hot cocoa and cookies, and bedtime to do it all over again tomorrow.
Oh, that's
you ladies are already making me tired just listening to how your days go.
Well, also, our audience out there, if you have a question that you would like us to ask Mrs. Claus, please go ahead and type it in, and we'll see if we can get it into the rotation.
All right. Question number 2. We're going to start with Mrs. Claus number 2. How do you help Santa get ready for Christmas Eve?
Oh, that's a very good question. As you know, Mrs. Claus is the head elf, right? I help monitor and I help run the North Pole all the time. And how I help Santa is Santa and I will sit down and we will look at the naughty and nice list. Of course, he's the one who really goes through it. But I will sit there with him and help oversee it. I will also prepare Santa a nice, big, hearty meal. I try to do meal prep for him. So that way I know that Santa will be eating healthy in the weeks leading up to Christmas. So, and I also try to make sure Santa goes for his walk every day to make sure that he's in tip-top shape to go out. Oh, what is that? I think I'm getting a phone call. Hold on a minute. Hello? Oh, hi, Santa. Okay, You're okay, Santa. I won't give away all your secrets, Santa. Okay, I love you too. Bye. Oh, Santa said, don't give away all my secrets.
All right. Mrs. Claus number 3, how do you help Santa get ready for Christmas Eve?
Well, hopefully by Christmas Eve, all the sleigh is packed and the presents are wrapped and sorted. I give Santa a very good meal, very high in protein. He has to have a lot of energy for what he has to do. And then I check to make sure that he's got his suit on straight. He had his hat on backwards one year. Not good. But I straighten his suit and I fluff him. And most important, I give him a very big kiss and a great big hug and tell him, come home safe.
Oh, nice. Oh, very good. All right. Now, a lot of people are asking questions about cookies.
Time out. Time out.
All
Mrs.
right.
Claus number 1, how do you help Santa get ready for Christmas Eve?
Oh, sorry. I thought you answered it already.
Well, there's so many things that have already been said, that we do on a regular basis of helping Santa get ready with the reindeer, the elves, the naughty and nice list. But one of the biggest things I do is help him get organized. Now, Santa is not known for being organized. So I help him find all the items that he needs. And I have a list. And I make sure I check that twice to make sure nothing's forgotten. So his hat, his belt, his lunch, his everything. So that is what I do.
Okay, now you can go, Michael.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Sorry, I didn't mean to jump in there. I just got excited. We've got a lot of cookie questions. And of course, I do enjoy a really good cookie too,
And what's funny? Question 3 is all about cookies.
That's right. Timing's everything, right? It's perfect. So questions are like, Santa, what's your favorite Santa's favorite cookie? Mrs. Claus, what's your favorite cookie? You'll know it. And so here's the question that I had type up, and I'll let you kind of add those other 2 components to it. So do you have a favorite cookie recipe that Santa loves for you to make and that you love to share with the elves?
Well,
and Mrs. Claus, we'll go backwards this time. Mrs. Claus number 3.
Why, thank you for asking. Well, Santa loves all cookies. The man has there's been one he didn't like. And I'm very concerned about Santa's health. It's very important these days. And so I made him a new cookie and I substituted chopped broccoli for the chocolate chips.
Go!
He didn't. He refused to eat them. I thought he ate all of them, but later I found out he took them down to the stable and he fed them to the reindeer.
Ooh.
Do you know what broccoli does to reindeer?
Probably the same thing as chocolate.
Probably exactly, Mrs. Made them gassy. We couldn't go to the stable for 2 days.
That is funny. You and President Bush, they don't like that broccoli. Yes.
No.
Yes. All right, Mrs. Claus number 2.
Well, I'm glad you asked, and I hope Santa's not listening because, like Mrs. Claus number 3, I also am trying to keep my Santa healthy as well. So on my keys, I do have a key to the cookie pantry. So because Santa's favorite cookie, if you were to ask him, you know what he would say?
Pantry.
He would say the round ones. So I always have to keep those cookies locked up because we need to help make sure Santa's blood sugars stay under control. But
Very good.
yes, but I would have to say my favorite and the elves' favorite is a very simple chocolate chip cookie that they like when I make it.
Nice. And Mrs. Claus number 1.
Yes, we also have a pantry where we keep our cookies and it's under lock and key. He thinks he has the key to it, but I change the lock frequently, so he's never quite sure when that's going to happen, or, what he's going to do. And our favorite cookie is a favorite among us, the elves, and it's a peanut butter kiss, because it's so sweet, because we can give them a kiss when we give them the peanut butter kiss cookie.
Oh, sweet. All right, a small variation follow-up with Santa Joe wants to know how many varieties of cookies and how many cookies do you bake each week? So Mrs. Claus, number 3.
Let's see. I have a cookbook that's about this thick with cookie recipes in it, but I probably have maybe 20 that I make most of the time. And I would say probably close to 1,500 cookies a week.
Oh my!
They disappear. And if I don't get a key like Mrs. Claus number 2 and number 1, they're going to go even faster.
Oh, yes, indeed. Oh my. All right, Mrs. Claus number 2.
Well, that is an excellent question. Thank you for asking. But as you can see, look at all the cookies that I have available at all times here in my kitchen at the North Pole. So I would say I too have probably about 40 different recipes that I like to use. And we usually go through about the same as Mrs. Claus number 3. We go through about 1,500 cookies a week.
Wow.
As you can see.
I think we're in the wrong business, Michael.
I'm thinking of in the mall, going to the mall. What is that? Mrs. Something's Cookies out in Texas. It was a big gig.
Fields, I think.
Mrs. Fields Cookies.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
All right.
And Mrs. Claus number 1.
We also go through an awful lot of cookies. And what I have learned is one week I made 2,000 thumbprint cookies by myself. And, pressing my thumb into all those cookies, I had the sorest thumb that you could ever imagine. And but they were really good. So now I make sure that I include all the elves in the cookie baking area, so that I'm not doing it all myself, because it just, wears you out. Just terrible, terrible. And, they may eat a few, it's cookie tax, but, we do make it.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm going to go off script here because we have a wonderful question from Santa Kevin Olam and Mrs. Claus number 1. Where did you meet Santa?
Ooh, I met him in a church choir, actually. And he came in and he was a wonderful tenor. And we just hit it off right away. It was that white beard that, sent me right into loving him.
And Mrs. Claus number 2, how about you?
My Santa and I met, so long ago, when he was younger, before he became Santa at the North Pole. He actually worked in a vegetable market.
Oh.
So I worked at the vegetable market as well, and that's how Santa and I met when we were just young, wee teenagers.
Wow. And Mrs. Claus number 3, how did you meet Santa?
We met at the Jingle Ball. And I didn't like him at all the first time I met him. No, he stepped on my feet when he asked me to dance, and he told the worst jokes. They were terrible. And all ho, 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 ho. He thought he was very funny. I didn't. But he's grown on me.
I bet he was really good at dad jokes.
Very bad. Very
You know what, Michael? That's a good time. Why don't we do our dad joke for the day?
Uh-oh. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to open that door.
What's the most unluckiest type of cat? A catastrophe.
Mrs. Claus number 3, I share your sentiments.
Were we not on the same plane of Santa's?
Ugh.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, Mrs. Claus, you all are wonderful. All right, Herbie, why don't you ask number 4?
Number 4. All right. Here's the question. What do you and Santa do to relax after the season is over? How about you, Mrs. Claus number 2?
Oh, great question. Well, as you know, Santa and I, we do take it easy on the, when the season is over, but we also like to stay very active as well. So this year, Santa and I are going to be cruise ship directors. Yes, for our local lake, Cedar Lake. And so we are going to offer evening cruises. So that's one of the things that Santa and I will be looking forward to in our off season.
Oh my goodness, that sounds wonderful. And Mrs. Claus 3, what do you do to relax after the season's over with Santa?
Well, I have to say, Mrs. Claus, you sound like you guys are very busy. We just be slugs. We find ourselves a cruise to someplace warm and sunny, and we sit on the beach for a week and do nothing.
Mrs. Claus number 1?
We travel an awful lot, and that's why kids often see somebody who looks like Santa Claus in many different parts of the country and around town. And he even had one today as he was walking through town go, "You look just like Santa." So that is our secret, that Santa does take vacations, and Santa and Mrs. Claus have some time to rest and recuperate, see what the children are doing during those tricky summer months as we go ahead into the Christmas season.
Just as a little, Michael, we have a viewer all the way from Australia. Hello, Neil. How are you, my friend? He's actually in the dentist office right now, and he may be told to cut down his cookie intake. So,
He's in the dentist office? Oh,
yes.
Oh, I had to get my crown fixed this week.
All right, Michael, you move on to number 5.
All right, number 5. Now, the elves can be mischievous sometimes, right?
No, not the elves.
But are reindeer as mischievous as the elves? And if so, could you give us an example? Mrs. Claus number 2.
Oh, yes, those reindeer. Well, as you know, I'm in charge of those reindeer. Oh my goodness. We did just have a new baby reindeer born a couple of weeks ago. So that was so nice. Our baby reindeer's name is Star. But I have to tell you that Dasher, oh my goodness. Dasher just loves to play hide and seek. When I go out to that reindeer barn to feed them of the mornings, most of the reindeer, they'll come running, right? Because they see me coming. They know I'm going to bring them food. But that Dasher, I'll call him Dasher, and he is nowhere to be found. And then I'll look and I'll see him peeking out from behind the reindeer barn. And I'll say, "Dasher, you get over here." And then like that he'll do. And then he will come and eat. So yes, those reindeer are very mischievous, especially that Dasher.
Oh, fun. And Mrs. Claus number 1.
Yes, I have to agree that those reindeer can really get into a lot of mischief. And the most recent one I had with our stable was with Dancer. He is the most extroverted reindeer in the whole group. And he really can, he thinks he's a party animal. And he even contacted the Savannah Bananas. I think you might have heard of that little group down south. Yeah, and they've got a group they play against called the Party Animals. And he wrote them a letter. I think one of the elves translated the letter, because I don't really think that's possible for a reindeer to grab a pen and write something. But he contacted them and said, "I am the ultimate party animal. and you got to have me on your team. So.
Wow.
But Mrs. Claus number 3.
Well, they are very, very mischievous, our little reindeer. But we have one reindeer who hasn't made the team yet. And she keeps wondering why she hasn't made the team. Her name is Trickster. And she came by it honestly. She came running around me one day. We had just put up all the lights. They were beautiful. And she came running. She got him caught in her antlers and she tied me up in the lights. And I said, Trickster, that's why you haven't made the team yet. You've got to be more careful.
Too fun. That's great.
Maybe the reindeer are more mischievous than the elves are.
They might be.
No.
Well, let's take a short break and let's thank those people who help us out.
All right.
Are you going crazy managing clients, contracts, and invoices? Kringle Tracker is here to help you. Stay organized with ease. Keep your sanity in check with Kringle Tracker's intuitive tools to effectively manage your schedule and clients. Our seamless, customizable contract system allows you to tailor your contracts to you and your clients' needs. Prepare for tax time like a pro by tracking your income and expenses and generate reports to make it a breeze. Transform your Claus business by signing up for a free 20-day trial. Kringle Tracker was created by a Claus for the Claus community so you can focus on making magical memories for your clients. Head over to kringletracker.com and sign up for your free trial today.
Hey, welcome back, everyone. All right, as we're working on developing and working our backstory practice tonight with our Mrs. Clauses, Herbie, why don't you go ahead and ask the next question?
Well, we do have a question coming in from our viewers, and this actually goes ahead and talks a little bit more about the reindeer. Of all the fun reindeers, Mrs. Claus, which one is your favorite? Mrs. Claus number 3.
Oh dear. Let's see, my favorite. I'm not supposed to have favorites. But I have to say Vixen is the one I talk to. I tell her my troubles. When I've burned a batch of cookies or lost one of the letters from Christmas, I pour my sorrows out to her, and she encourages me. I like her. She's good.
Mrs. Claus number 1.
Mine is Cupid, just because that's Santa's favorite too. And that Cupid can just be so loving and affectionate and just come up to you and just lick you from the knees up to the top of your head.
Oh, wow. And Mrs. Claus number 2, who's your favorite?
I would have to agree with Mrs. Claus number 3 and with Vixen, because she is just amazing. You know, she's been around for a while, and she's had, her fair share of issues with our naughty little reindeer sometimes. But Vixen is near and dear, and she's had a couple of babies herself. So I think that's what I have in common with her, especially with this Mother's Day special that the Kringle brothers are putting on. Yeah. So, yes, that's who my favorite is as well.
Nice.
Oh, that's awesome. Now let's move into the real question. Dun, dun, dun. All right. How do you and the elves celebrate Christmas at the North Pole? Mrs. Claus number 1.
We have a very traditional Christmas at the North Pole. And we just love singing carols around the tree, eating lots of food, and just really giving of ourselves to everybody around us.
Mrs. Claus number 2, how do you celebrate with the elves at Christmas at the North Pole?
Well, the elves, we have a tradition at the North Pole. And we like to, well, not we, the elves, I should say, they love to put on talent shows. And they love to do their dance parties like this. And we have 4 elves in particular that really like to show their awesome skills. I don't know if you can see them, but here's a picture of the 4 elves that always participate in our talent show. And they also like to travel with Santa sometimes when he goes and does visits. But we like to keep it a little bit more spunky at the North Pole with the talent show. And we just love to have fun and play games and, just be together.
Perfect. And Mrs. Claus number 3.
Well, the days leading up to Christmas, we're all so busy with making sure that Santa and that sleigh are ready to go that we have to stay on duty all night because we've got to be there to support Santa as he makes his trip. So we all sleep very late on Christmas morning. And then we get up, we make a lovely meal for everybody all at one time. It's a huge table, goes forever. Everybody brings something. And then we exchange little gifts for each other. Things that we want that suit people's personalities. But we spend the day just relaxing and enjoying each other without having to worry about what we've got to get done.
I don't know about you, Michael, but I want to go to their North Poles.
You know what? Yeah. My mind's like, how? The visual in my head was like little Lucy Lou in the table, with the
exactly. I was thinking the same thing. Who's got the Who Beast and everything else there?
Yeah, too much fun. Now, one of the things that I loved as a child growing up was my mother's eating to do. I loved stories, and it was funny. My mom telling me what my favorite book was. I didn't realize, but that's not here to tell you that. So here's my question then that I'd like to ask is: do you have a favorite Christmas book that you love to read to children? And what is it?
Well, you got to pick which one.
Well, I'm hesitating. I'm trying to think of the order that you've gone through so I can switch it up. Mrs. Claus, number 1.
I believe that it would be 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. It is such a classic out of all those stories that are out there. And sometimes you have to explain a little bit because the wording isn't what we would use today, like sugar plums in your head. And, I like going through it. I like going through it kind of slowly and talking about it and the different visuals that it can give because, you talk about the leaves blowing in the wind and mounting up to the sky and just everything that you think of in that poem that he wrote is so visual and so much about Santa.
Fun. And Mrs. Claus, number 2.
Oh, of course, 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, right? However, at times, one of my favorite things that I like to do as well is just to sit down and read the true meaning of Christmas. And we will go through the birth of Jesus with the elves and whoever we might have visiting with us at the time.
That's fun. Nice. And Mrs. Claus, number 3.
Well, my favorite, I think, is Olive the Other Reindeer, because it's all about this little puppy who thinks she's a reindeer. Because the song says, all of the other reindeer. And she thinks that's her. And they keep saying, no. And yet she saves the presents. So maybe she is a reindeer.
Oh, that's great. Well, talk about presents, Michael. We should do our trivia question.
You want to do the trivia now, or you want to do one more question from the audience first?
Well, why don't you go ahead and ask one more question, and I'll get the trivia stuff ready.
Perfect. All right. Now, ladies, it's time to talk fashion. Ooh. Now, the question that's coming from Kevin here is the general pictures that we see as Mrs. Claus always has the long skirts, the apron. Now, the question he has is, since Mrs. Claus mostly wears long skirts, would you ever consider wearing pants or a shorter dress? So, Mrs. Claus number 2, how would you answer that?
Oh, absolutely. I am a real person, correct? So I have lots of different looks in my wardrobe. Everybody has different pairs of clothes that they wear. So I do have my traveling outfit that I call it, where I like to be comfortable. So I do wear some pants at times, although I would not wear a short skirt because I just don't, I don't have the legs for it, if I'm being honest. I'm being completely honest. But I do wear pants from time to time. Absolutely.
And Mrs. Claus number 3.
I would have to agree. We're regular ladies. We have clothes for many different occasions. Short skirts, not so much. Back in those Jingle Ball days, though. But not now. Not now. And the apron is for the kitchen and baking cookies. It doesn't go out the door.
Yes.
But pants, oh, I love wearing my pants. It's cold up here, and skirts are drafty.
And Mrs. Claus number 1.
As the others have said, yes, I would wear everything but a short skirt. Now, that time has long passed, but we've been together a very, very long time, through many actual centuries. And during those times, the styles have changed. And I have different styles hanging in my closet of different clothing that I like to wear. And it still fits, because I'm Mrs. Claus, and that works really well. And, and also as far as pants, if I'm going out to work with the reindeer, I wouldn't be wearing an apron and a mop cap. No, I'd be in pants and maybe even overalls and a sweatshirt, just so that I get comfortable. Yeah, doing what I have to do.
Perfect. All right, Michael, do you want to run today's trivia?
Yeah, we're very thankful for Santa's Closet, because they're the ones that provide our wonderful giveaway opportunity. So let's give a thank you to them.
Since its founding in 2004, Santa's Closet has been committed to providing unique, high-quality accessories for Santa, Mrs. Claus, and the entire Claus community. Our mission is to deliver exceptional customer service and outstanding value, offering competitive pricing and a wide selection of products designed to enrich the Claus experience.
Hey, welcome back, everyone. All right, tonight's trivia question is, and just a reminder, if you've won in the last 65 days, well, you'll have to be in a little timeout and give other people an opportunity. And also a reminder that we can't ship overseas, so we can't ship to Canada or Europe or any of that, but we're really glad that you're watching. Now, if you have an address in the United States that we can ship to, well, that's a different question. All right, so tonight's question. All right, here we go. According to the Christmas trivia game, which I have and bought, all right, what percentage of people leave their Christmas shopping until the last week? Oh, Herbie, what, you have a comment? Now, don't give it away.
No, I'm one of those people who wait till the last minute.
All right, I don't see any answers coming in yet.
No, so I'm monitoring the chat. I'm monitoring the chat to look for it too. But so if you want to, we can actually go ahead and ask another question. Oh, well, we're starting to get answers in.
Oh,
no, John,
look at that. 78, 75.
That's all right. Nope, Santa Mike, that's not it either.
79. No, AJ. Oh, you high. You guys are high.
Well,
well,
here we go. We're getting closer with William.
William was closest so far, but we're still not there. We're doing it like an auctioneer. You could do it like hot, too hot, getting warmer,
Carl, you're a little warmer. Carl's a little warmer. Sal, you're way off. You're cold. Nate, you're cold. Santa Bruce is cold.
Carl, AJ, you're closer. That was pretty good.
AJ, you're a little closer. You're a little warmer. Bruce, you're cold.
Oh, John, that went too far, John.
Tim, nope. You're lukewarm. William, you're getting a little bit warmer here. This is like kind of playing the Price is Right game. It's like
Bill, you're a little high. Kevin, you're a little low. As people are watching the chat, Sal, you're a little high.
Joe, I don't even know what that is. Bill, nope, you're a little high. Pat, you're a little high as well. Michelle, nope, not quite 36.
Pat, you're a little high, but yeah, I can get it. We got lots of comments here. Bruce, you're high. All right, let's do this. If you're guessing over 25, you're too high. All right, we'll bring you down. For 22 is just a touch too high according to the game that I have. But I would agree with 22. I did see that on the internet. So, but that's just a little high. Think about what I just said. Oh, Mike, you're closer, but it's a touch too high. Charlie, you're high.
Michelle, you're almost there. Dr. Bruce is almost there.
Almost. You guys are so close.
Oh, guys, that's why we have.
Oh, no, Troy, you're a little low. Oh, wait, I think I see it. Pat.
Did you get no? Pat did come in at 8:41, the first one. So our winner is Pat Wesson.
Yay! Congratulations! According to my trivia game, let me show it to you just so you know. According to the trivia game where I get my questions, all right, 20%. Can you imagine that? 20%. Wait to the last minute.
All right, Pat, just go ahead and email us. And let me bring up the email address.
I can bring that up for you, Michael.
There you go. Go ahead, Pat, and email us your name, your address, and your shirt size so we can actually go ahead and get that out to Santa's Closet so they can actually send you your wonderful surprise.
That would be great.
At the same time, too, always remember to like us and follow us on Facebook. Subscribe to us on YouTube so you can always be kept in the loop as to what's going on, because as a little teaser, next week we're going to change up the show a little bit.
Oh my.
What are you hiding your face for?
It's like one of those already feeling the like knock on wood. Yeah, change is a big gig. We'll let you know next week. The change is huge. and then a quick shout out to Sister Claus. I saw her here, Sal 205. Oh, too fun. All right. Email it to us, Pat, if you would. Right. Well, thanks everyone. We appreciate it a lot. All right. Let's do this, Ruby. Let's ask one more question on our question list, and then we'll break from the game and ask questions from our panel before we leave.
Well, you the head on me, so I'm going to go ahead and take your number 7, which is, what's one lesson you think children everywhere should remember? Mrs. Claus, number 3. What's one lesson you think children everywhere should remember?
Kindness. Kindness to everyone, no matter what. And patience. The patience to be able to find out that person really is worthy of your kindness. But if we were all kinder to one another, wouldn't it be a nicer place to live? This world of ours.
Yes.
It would, wouldn't it?
It would. Mrs. Claus, number 1.
I'd like the children to remember that it's not about what you get at Christmas time, but it's about what you give and the original meaning for Christmas and keeping Christ in Christmas.
Yes.
Perfect. And Mrs. Claus, number 2.
I like what Mrs. Claus number 3 said. And this is what I would say to the children. Always be kind, For kindness has the power to light up the darkest nights and warm the coldest hearts.
Oh, nice. Oh,
A little,
good.
a little Christmas Jack Frost stuff going in there. I like it.
Yeah. Now, you know, I saw a commercial, a car commercial that I absolutely loved, and Mrs. Claus had to deliver gifts. At least in the commercial.
Mhm.
All right. So, have you ever had to step in and help deliver presents for Santa?
Mhm.
Mrs. Claus number 2.
Oh, absolutely. I did. It was did you say now deliver presents for him or to help him?
Well, either or, help him, or like, let's say if he was sick. Not some people get sick, you know, and then did you have to ever step in to deliver?
And he was sick one year for Christmas Eve. I felt so bad for him. He had a cough, he had a fever. I said, Santa, you need to stay home and you need to drink your plenty of fluids and take your zinc and get some rest. And I sure did. I loaded up the presents with the help of the elves and we took off. And Santa, he was ill. He was drinking his water and taking his medicine, but he was in command central and he was helping keep an eye over me, just to make sure everything was okay. And we were constantly in communication. So, yes, I have had to do that.
Nice. Mrs. Claus number 3.
Well, I haven't had to take over and actually do an entire delivery for Christmas. But last year, there was a little girl who wanted a doll. Now, this little girl had had some health challenges and had actually had an artificial leg. And the elves had made a doll for her with an artificial leg. But when the sleigh left, that doll was left behind. So, what could I do? I had to get one of the reserve reindeer, not Trickster, because we never would have gotten there. Got one of the other reserve reindeer, and we chased after Santa, and we got to him just before we got to her house.
Nice.
I was able to save the day. It would have been so sad for this little girl to not have her doll.
Oh, how nice. Oh, beautiful. Mrs. Claus number 1.
Well, I haven't really stepped in for Santa to do a delivery, but I have ridden with him at times. And I do remember back to the first time that I rode with him. And boy, I had to, really beg him so that I could go and enjoy the things. And Santa, I'm here at the North Pole the whole time taking care of everything while you're gone. Can't I please ride with you? And we were able to go to a house, and there was a poor child there who had a stocking hung by the chimney, and I was able to darn the hole in that child's stocking so that the gifts could stay in there. So when he woke up, he had a stocking full of gifts.
Wonderful. Awesome. Well,
All right. Go on.
Well, thank you, Mrs. Clauses, all of you, for coming and helping us tonight. And so here's the last question. Will the real Mrs. Claus please raise her hand? All of you. Oh, I guess you're all Mrs. Clauses. Congratulations. Yay. Oh, guys, thanks for working on your backstory with us tonight.
All right. So, do you want to ask the questions from the audience right now of Mrs. Claus?
And we could do that. But one of the things that I would like for them, since we're down to 10 minutes, is I would like for them to share, if you are thinking about being a Mrs. Claus, what encouraging word would you give to that person about becoming and portraying Mrs. Claus? Mrs. Claus number 1.
It is not as.
Let's do this. Let's reveal your real name. Mrs. Claus number 1, Kathy Norrid. All right. How would you encourage them, Kathy?
It's not as scary as it seems. I know that, it's kind of an obstacle that you have to get over, I think, in doing this, because It's all about the Santa Claus. And a lot of people don't even acknowledge that Mrs. Claus exists. But the kids are so happy to see Mrs. Claus being represented. And they'll often say that when you meet with them. They're so glad, especially the girls.
Cool. All right, Mrs. Claus number 2, Jenny. What
Yes.
encouraging word would you like to share?
Well, I would say that, like Kathy said, it's not scary. Growing up, I know that the vision of Mrs. Claus that I had in my head was someone who was a little bit more mature, who looked a certain way.
Right.
But as I have come into this role, I have learned that, you're Mrs. Claus, and you can look the way you feel that Mrs. Claus needs to look, right? Santa has to have that white beard and whatnot, but we can do whatever we want in theory, right? But I think that the other thing is for women, and we're just naturally nurturers. So I would say that for me, being able to love on people, young and old, whether they're a fresh newborn little baby or somebody who is 90 years old in a nursing home or at home, we can just love on them. We can just love on them, love on people, and just share our light that we've been given to the world. So it is wonderful. I would have never dreamt in a million years I would ever be a Mrs. Claus, to be honest with you. But now I wish I could do it full time.
Thank you, Jenny. And Mrs. Claus number 3, Pam.
Hi. I resisted it for many, many years. And I got backed into a corner and I said, all right, I'll do it. But I tell you what, when that first little child makes eye contact with you and their face lights up, I mean, they know Santa's there, but they go, Mrs. Claus. And you get this big hug. Your heart melts. There is nothing that feels quite like that. And we wear, as Jenny said, Mrs. Claus makes her own persona. You can wear anything. You can put yourself together any way that works for you.
Nice.
And it's just, there's a lot of freedom, but it's the children, it's the grown-ups, all ages. Mrs. Claus, wow, she's here. It's wonderful. And there's so many wonderful schools and organizations that will help you learn the things you need to learn, like, as we've all done, set your backstory, carry your persona, stay in character, how to handle those children that are shy, that are challenged, and they're sometimes equally challenging parents.
Yeah, the DNA doesn't fall far from the tree. Yeah.
No, sometimes not. There's so much support for you, so it's not like you're stepping out into space all by yourself.
Yeah.
You've got a lot of support, and we're all here to help you. And it's my Santa says the visits he makes that I'm with him are so much easier for him and so much better for him than when he has to go by himself.
Yeah, excellent.
So you can be that support for Santa.
One of the best comments I like is as I'm sitting in a chair with Mrs. Claus next to me, family comes up and goes, "Hey, Santa, can you take a picture with my kids and Mrs. Claus?" That's an awesome thing right there. But this is a question that came from the viewers right here, and this is to all of you. And just really quickly, which movie, TV, Mrs. Claus do you believe best portrays the actual persona of the real Mrs. Claus? So, in other words, what TV or movie Mrs. Claus helps you define your role? How about you, Kathy? What do you think?
Maybe
I think it's so hard because there's so many of them. But I was thinking of the Christmas Chronicles and actually Goldie Hawn
Yep.
And she's so down to earth. She very much cares about the children, but you can tell she's, she's not the one making cookies probably, but
On
that's
real
what
life too, yeah.
the media.
How about you?
I think the media with the new movies, I think, is presenting a more real Mrs. Claus. What is for today.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. And how about you, Jenny? What would you say?
The same. I would say Goldie Hawn in the Christmas Chronicles.
Yeah. Yeah, probably pretty much. Although I kind of like the code name Partridge. I kind of like that for Red One.
Red One.
Partridge going out. All right. Gotcha.
Too fun. Too fun indeed. Well, we really appreciate you ladies coming. Was there another question, Michael? I'm sorry.
Well, there are still a few more on here. It's just like really quickly, what is Mrs. Claus's favorite color?
Red.
That was an easy one.
Jinx,
almost in unison. All right, now this is coming from Deb Zeller here. As Mrs. Claus, where's your favorite place to shop for a new outfit?
Ooh.
Or even if you're go ahead.
We have a wonderful tailor at the North Pole, and I don't have time to go to the mall. God forbid I should have to go to the mall. So our tailor takes care of me.
All right. Nice. And how about you, Jenny?
Oh, well, a tailor at the North Pole. Because I do not like to go out shopping either. So, I mean, with the northern lights that we have, the Aurora Borealis, we can get internet. So I can order pretty much anything and have it delivered.
Perfect. And you, Kathy?
I tend to make a lot of my outfits that I have, but I also use the Aurora Borealis to surf the net and find things that are on there. And, Mrs. Claus uses Amazon.
Amazon delivers.
Amazon.
Well, again, ladies, as Michael said, thank you so much for joining us. It was so much fun to actually hear your stories, to see how you developed your own characters. I love the use of the props. I love the imagination that you all put into each and every question. Thank you so much.
And Kathy, did you want to introduce Rocky?
Oh, I didn't bring Rocky out, but I did bring my fox Clarence, because a lot of times that Mrs. Claus will, take one of the animals from the North Pole. So this is my fox, and if I'm reading this book, it's called Santa's Favorite Story. I'm probably backwards on the screen.
No
problem. You're fine.
Okay. And it's Santa's favorite story is the story of Jesus. And Clarence helps me with it. He's a character in the story, and he helps me, with the whole story. And one of my favorite reactions from one of the kids, I was talking about, him living in a forest, and I was trying to get them to imagine what it was like to be in a forest and to, feel the cool breeze and to smell the pine trees. And one little kid raises his hand and goes, "I smell bacon."
Right.
Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for having us and giving Mrs. Claus a platform. If you ever need us again, you know where we are.
Oh,
definitely.
I'm in happy Mother's Day to each and every one of you and everyone who's listening. I tell you what, I love portraying with Mrs. Claus. I know I get the opportunity to be with Sandy at the Grand Rapids Public Museum and to watch her work, and it's just such a good fit. I see kids just calm down with her. And Sandy's so magical to work with, that I just love it, so I really appreciate all you do, for the community and for children and sharing your gifts and talents with the other Mrs. Claus, because we truly are better together,
Definitely. Well, there's just one other comment I'd like to bring out to Danny Parker here. He goes, "Hey, Santa Danny, I've tried signing up for Hire Santa, but no one has gotten back to me. My email that he gives his email. Danny, if this is for basically signing up for Hire Santa, what they'll do is you submitted your name to Hire Santa, and when they get an opportunity that fits the criteria that you provided, they will reach out to you, and they will actually go ahead and confirm everything. But if you do have any questions regarding Hire Santa, contact Jenny at Hire Santa, and she'll be more than happy to answer everything.
Sounds good.
Again, ladies, thank you so much for joining us. Have a wonderful Mother's Day to each and every one of you. Michael, what's our show for next week?
Well, we're always learning, just like tonight, and it's some of it's a big surprise. So please tune back in next week for a learning opportunity. We're going to be on the hot seat, So, all right, we'll see you then, everyone. Thanks to TMO Network. We appreciate all the ladies that are wives. All right, Bob and Ted and all of the Mel and all of the ones and Sean from the network. We appreciate each and every one of you for all that you do to help the community grow and learn together. We still have people watching.
We still, because everybody's getting used to this now.
All right, I have a question for you, ladies. Right, here we go. There's Santa, 3 elves, a policeman, right, a politician, and the
Rocky
governor all walk into a bar together. What do they have in common?
I know.
Yes.
No. They love to watch the Kringle Brothers.
No, silly goose. They all appreciate what Mrs. Claus does.
Somebody's
night, everybody.
Nice list.
Good night. Good night, Rocky.
Say good night, Rocky.
Good night, Rocky.